All right, good evening, everyone. It's Tanya Smith here with Get Noticed with Video and GetNoticedWithVideo.com. And tonight we're going to talk about something that I've heard a lot about from several of the folks in my community, so I want to address it. The question is, what if your excuse for not doing video is that you really don't want to show your face? Look, we all have had that same thought, including myself, right? I'm going to share something with you. I'm going to share a video from back in 2015 or a short clip of that so that you can see that I tell the truth when I say that. But what if you could do more video? You could still do it creatively. You could still get your point across. You could even still leverage live if you wanted to do that, but without showing your face on camera. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to give you some ways, some creative ways that you can actually do video off camera and still get your message out there, whether you were struggling with finding the right type of equipment, or if you simply just didn't want to have your face on camera. In either of those situations, I'm hoping that the ideas I share with you, you can use and leverage to do more video, to move that roadblock and that objection out of the way and start using the power of video. So first of all, I want to welcome all of you who have shown up live. Thank you so much. If you're in the audience and this is the very first time that you've watched me on live stream, then I want you to type in hashtag newbie. If you have been around the block and you've watched, I don't know, more than a couple of times, you've been in, my stream audience for some time, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, any of the spaces that I play, then I want you to type in hashtag OG. And for those of you who are part of my incredible VIP community, we have a community called the Video VIPs. Let me make sure I pop this up for you in case you're interested in joining. We all connect and we talk a lot about video marketing. And so if you are interested in becoming part of our incredible supportive community, learning more about how to use video, what we teach is how you simplify streaming so that you can serve more people and sell more services. So we work a lot with service providers like coaches, consultants, and trainers. So this group is filled with people of that same desire. They want to serve other people. They have that nurturing and that heart-centered approach. All right. So video VIPs, type in hashtag VIP if it's you. And if you're in the VIP community watching right now, the only other reminder I'll give you there is to make sure you look in the description, because you'll see a little link that gives you access to give me permission or give permission to the system so that I can see your post. All right. I see a couple of posts. I see an OG here. Yes, ma'am. So you'll want to take a look. I think it's chat.restream.io/Facebook or FB. You should see the actual link that requires you to give permission so that I can see your face and acknowledge you on a personal level, because I want to do that. I see a couple of folks here. I see another VIP. Awesome sauce. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Watching from Port Moresby. Oh, wow. New Guinea. Luke, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you watching. I hope that I can share something with you that will be of value, because look, I've been talking with my community. I've been listening. I've been asking, hey, what's on your mind? What's holding you back from doing video? And there is a plethora. Do you all like that word? There's a plethora of things. There are things that do hold us back. Confidence. Not knowing what to say, thinking that it might be too expensive, thinking that it may take too much time. All of these things can be real, but all of these things can also be overcome. What I realize is that I talk and teach a lot about going on camera, but there's still that bridge from getting from where you are right now, where you haven't been doing on camera, and getting to the space where you feel comfortable and confident and you're going to do it more regularly. So in that gap in between, we have the ability to be able to share with you resources that will help you. And that's what I want to do in tonight's episode. The only other thing I want to mention to you, and I'll show you this in one of the examples that I'm going to talk about, because we're going to cover 3 different ways to do video without putting your face. You don't have to show your face on camera. I know you're like, whoop, I'm happy about that. If you are happy about that, give me a like or put a fire emoji in the comments because I want to see. Are you excited that you don't necessarily have to put your face on camera to do video? Because hopefully so. That is what we wrote tonight's outline about. All right. The only other thing I'll mention, like I said, is that there is an upcoming event for those of you who are service providers, which most of you are, and you're looking to create more group coaching programs. One of the things I absolutely want to make sure you know about is a brand new 5-day event that's coming up next week, and it's going to be awesome. I'm one of the speakers. It is sponsored by my friend and business colleague, Milana Lashinsky. It's called Fill My Groups. So you can go and get more information about it at tanya.click/fillmygroups. So I'll do a short little promo about that a little later, but I want to go ahead and start diving into the content. If you have questions, if there's anything you want to know and follow up to some of the things that I'm about to share, and I'm going to demo for you a couple of different apps and tools because I can't help myself. I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to that. But I'm going to share some things. If you have follow-up questions, if there's something else that you want me to clarify, make sure you put those in the comments because I'm watching for you so that I can answer and respond to you. Even if you're watching on replay and you type in #replay, I do come back and scan to make sure that I'm responsive to your comments and questions as well as best I can. So let's dive in. Let's talk about this. And I'm seeing some folks that are showing up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for the thumbs up there. And Marcia says, me. I know she's doing that in answer to my previous question. Awesome. All right. So here we go. I'm going to pull up my number one. There are at least 3 different ways that I can share with you tonight for purposes, for purpose of our time. Our show is not super long, but I do like to make sure I'm as concise as possible. So I've broken this down into 3 specific types of content that I want to share with you, but there are a lot of other ways. There are creative ways that you can actually do video without actually showing your face on camera, right? Because we know it can take some time to get comfortable and confident in that space. So show number 1 or video idea number 1, I'll say, is the explainer style. You don't always have to put your face on camera to explain or to share and to educate your audience about what it is you want to talk about. Think about this. Most of you, if not all of you, are in some type of service provider business, which means that you have an opportunity to be able to educate people, to influence them to an action, to encourage them, to provide information about something that they may not have known before that could transform the way that they do business and do life, right? So with that in mind, it doesn't always have to be your talking head that is sharing that information. So I'm going to show you in a few minutes a couple of different ways. I like animated versions of explainer videos. I also like whiteboard versions of explainer videos. I'm going to show you a tool right now called Powtoon. Now, I do not, and I'll be clear with you on this, I do not have an affiliate link with them. I do not have an account with Powtoon at this time. I used to, but I was of the mind that it was time for me to stop buying a ton of different apps. I only invest in those, and this is a message for you too. I invest in those apps that I know that I'm going to use consistently, because think about it. Every subscription that you add to your budget every month, it begins to add up, and it takes away from the profit that you're trying to make in your business. So you need to be very intentional and on purpose about where you're spending your money. But here's what I'll say to you. If I were someone, which I was at one point, if I were someone who was choosing not to put my face on camera often, and I preferred to still educate and share influence and give tips and advice and show how-tos and those type of things through video, I would probably leverage Powtoon or a similar app to do this. Now, Powtoon is an app. Whereas if you had a whiteboard, and some of you have seen these, if you go on YouTube, and even if you're using Zoom to do your videos, there's a whiteboard feature where you can actually draw on the whiteboard, right? You don't have to be on camera. You can be off to the side and just have your hand showing that you're writing or drawing, okay? Now, personally, I still think it's effective when you have a real whiteboard. And I have a real whiteboard that I used to keep behind me and, write on, but it got kind of distracting for me. But if that's your thing, you can certainly position your camera such that it's not on your face, that it is literally focused on the whiteboard itself, and you're writing and sharing the bullet points and the messaging as you go. Now, if you're not using something like a real whiteboard, though, something like Powtoon, which I'm going to make this a little bit bigger again, something like Powtoon is absolutely an excellent way for you to be able to get your point across, because what it does is it basically offers you various templates that you can literally plug and play. It even gives you different characters that you can use. So right here, for instance, you can see where it's saying build your branded character. You can actually bring your brand to life with an animated character that represents you. I'm going to show you an example of something that I used to do in this regard here shortly. But that is one thing. You can capture your screen and your camera. You can, they have templates for different types of explainer videos. Let's pull one up. I'm going to move this out of the way so we can really see this, but let's take a look at a couple of them that they have in here. There's quite a few that are of the education and small business and entrepreneur style, right? So literally what you're going to do is you can speak over these, or maybe you don't speak over them at all. You just use music and you add your own words instead of what they have. Let's pull this one up that says 5 tips, right? So this one, you're going to fill in your blank with whatever the 5 tips are going to be and add the name of the problem and so on and so forth. So what I'm sharing with you is that this is an excellent way for you to do a video that still gets your point across and can share messaging without you showing your face, if that's something you choose to do. Now, I personally think that it may be more powerful if you're not showing your own face to use your voiceover, which we're going to talk about in a second too. But number one is these explainer style videos. So absolutely, if you're not ready to quite be on camera all the time and consistently, mix a few of these styles of videos in, and it will give you leverage for you to be able to still be branded in the video space, but also it will give you opportunities to share both short videos, so snack size videos, if you will, and longer versions of videos in all your different platforms. So explainer style is tip number 1. Now, tip number 2 would be slides. How many of you have used different types of slides, such as PowerPoint? In fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you one. Let me make sure I sign in. I'm going to pull this over here real quick. There is an app I use called Beautiful.ai. And what Beautiful does is pretty much, it's similar to what PowerPoint, Google Slides, any of the slide deck type of apps will do for you. It allows you to put your own words, different images, etc., into your slides, right? And so here's what I'll do. I'm going to show you my actual account in Beautiful so you can kind of see what I do and how I use this for video. When I'm creating courses, I usually start with my video slide deck. And when I'm creating webinars, I don't always, just a couple weeks ago, I did a webinar on Wave Video. For those that attended, I hope you enjoyed it, by the way. It was so much fun to do. I didn't have my face on camera. It was Saturday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I had my coffee, but I just didn't feel like getting all dutied up. But I was ready to go and to teach with the sound of my voice, so I used my slide deck that I created here inside of Beautiful.ai. So I love, and here's my actual slide deck. And you can literally do this. What you can do is you can actually create a deck of slides. And let me just kind of show you the overview, right? You can create a deck of slides that you simply are talking over, right? And you're sharing your screen as you speak over these different slides. What I like about Beautiful is that I get a chance to really kind of brand things the way that I choose to brand them. So I have my own fonts in here. I have my same branded colors in here. So everything you do, you literally, if you have the paid version of this app, you literally have the ability to be able to showcase using your own brand. So notice my raspberry pink is in there and all of that, right? Now, if you're using slides, one of the things you want to consider is, and let me make sure I show this. One of the things you definitely want to consider is that you are in a situation where you have the proper apps to use your voice on top of the slides. Because for instance, Beautiful, just like Google Slides and PowerPoint, does not have a built-in, well, Google Slides does and PowerPoint does, but it's difficult to use. There's not a really simple way for you to do voiceover and to add your audio on top of the slides. So what I actually do is I use another app. Some people use Loomly, I believe it's called. And you can put that into, if anybody's using that, put that into the comments. I want to make sure I'm spelling it correctly. I think it is Loomly. The reason I don't use that is because I've been a very long time user of another app called Screencast-O-Matic. So my earlier videos, which I'll show you kind of like a little screen in a second here of one, my earlier videos really were, what I did is I used Screencast-O-Matic and I partnered that with my slide deck, right? So what I would do is I would turn Screencast-O-Matic on, I would record the screen as I'm sharing the slides, and I'd be speaking into my microphone. That way I never had to show my face. The same thing with the webinars that I do. If I'm not prepared or don't want to share my face, love, Screencast-O-Matic, yes. If you don't want to share your face, something like an app like Screencast-O-Matic is perfect. And same, I think, with Loomly if it works the same way. But what it does is it gives you the option, right? So what you can do is you are sharing your screen and you're recording your screen as you go, as you talk. And if you choose to turn on your webcam, Screencast-O-Matic gives you the option of being able to do that. Another thing that I like about that particular app is that you can, and this is, like I said, I mentioned for my courses, what I tend to do is I record using my slides that I've built in Beautiful. Then I use Screencast-O-Matic to record myself speaking, and I splice different clips together. Here's what I mean. So let's say, for instance, that you're doing a course and the course has 25 modules or lessons, right? I definitely like to keep those lessons brief and short as possible. But one of the things I don't want to have to do is sit on camera and on video and on my microphone for an entire day doing that recording. So instead, I might reserve that day for recording the course, but I'm going to record a few minutes here, a few minutes there. An hour later, I'll get back in because now I've taken on my phone calls, handled my emails, worked with my team member, etc. Record again. Screencast-O-Matic and other similar types of apps like that allow you to put those pieces together. So if I did 5 minutes and I want to add another 5 minutes and make that one lesson, I can do that right inside of Screencast-O-Matic. And again, I don't have to show my face at all. So I hope you're kind of getting that there are creative ways that you can do this, right? And literally, even if I were right now on my live stream teaching and talking and training, what I could do, and I have done in some such situations, is I could just turn off my camera and simply work from the screen. So what I'm saying is I want to give you license and permission to do what you feel is most effective and most comfortable for you so that you can remove the roadblock, the obstacle of, I don't want my face on camera, right? So hopefully these are giving you some ideas. So tip number 1 was explainer style, where you can actually use some type of whiteboard, or you can, if you want to get a subscription to an app such as Powtoon or other similar animated drawing apps, you could simply speak over or let the animation do the work for you, right? Here's a third way that kind of has a little bit of crossover in similar to the first two tips that I talked about, okay? And let me remind you, if you have questions on anything that we're talking about or need clarifications, put that here in the comments because I'm watching for you so I can take care of you. So here's the third way. The third way is voiceover and image. What I mean by this is not like the animated image, not the slides, but you could definitely do an image and that is all. I literally did that this week because I needed to help promote an event that I'm speaking at. I'm speaking at that Fill My Groups event. And what I wanted to do was to create a quick promo so that I could share with other people what the event and the conference is all about. But I really just wasn't in the mood because we have these moods, don't we? I wasn't in the mood to be on camera, but I knew I needed to get it done. So let me show you what I did. I created in Wave Video, which is what we taught our webinar about just the other day. I created in Wave a brief landing page. So I made a video that just had an image in the background, and then watch this. Here, I'll start it from the beginning.
Hey, it's Tanya here. I just wanted to share with you some information about a brand new 5-day virtual event that you do not want to miss, and it's free.
So here's what I did to kind of break this down for you and to share what I'm doing here. This is actually a video. Excuse me. This is actually a video where I simply put my image, my picture. I took a quote from the promo page. I put an image of the host and her name. And then I spoke. I spoke about the event. So I recorded myself on a microphone speaking about the event. And then I married that with the image and created a video. So again, I'm not on there with my face other than the image, right? But that gives you yet another creative way for you to do something. And you notice how I had the little waveforms at the bottom. Let me show you that one more time so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's some little waveforms, as we call them.
What's the one coaching revenue stream that kept on going throughout the pandemic?
Down there at the bottom.
Group coach.
That way people knew, okay, so I'm not really watching. Well, I'm watching a video, but there is sound and I want to pay attention to the sound. Why is that relevant? Because oftentimes what people will do is they will turn down or off the sound for videos and just read the captions. So that does happen in some cases. I wanted to make sure that this was clear that it was a waveform video, meaning that the primary content was my voice. But it gives you yet a third way to really still get your message across without showing your face on camera. So is this ringing a bell? If this is kind of giving you some nuggets, some golden nuggets, I want you to either raise your hand by just putting a little thumbs up or type something in the comments and let me know. Just say yes. Yes, it's a light bulb. Put a light bulb emoji. How about that? If it's giving you some ideas. So I'm going to also show you an older video, and I'm just going to show you a quick clip of this so you can see what this looks like because it's funny. So this is one of the first videos I did. I think, yeah, April 2015 is the date on this. And at the time, I was not trying to be on camera. So what I was doing is this is just an image the whole way through.
Lots and lots of cool image creation tools.
So I'm just teaching. At the time, I was doing a podcast, the Snack Size Marketing Podcast. And so I was not trying to put my face on camera. But what I had, and I'll blow this up so you can really see it. What I had was this was a cool avatar, a character. So like I mentioned with Powtoons, it was a character that I had made of myself that I used in all of my social media branding. It was everywhere. So it was representing me. And part of the reason I was using this character, to be honest with you, is because I just didn't want to have my face out there. So I'm saying all this to say, you might be seeing and noticing that I put my face on camera now, but you have to start somewhere. So 2014, 2015, even 2013, I wasn't frequently on camera. I'm just being real and being honest with you. So if you're feeling the pressure, like, oh my God, I've got to do more video, I've got to find a way to jump over this hurdle and make sure that I put my face on camera, what I'm here tonight to tell you is that there are options. You can get creative. And if some of these ideas will help you, then I certainly want you to take them and use them for yourself so that you too can take advantage of the power of video in your content marketing. The one other thing I'll share with you, and this is kind of going along the lines of the explainer videos, right? Is that there's also a tool that I use that I absolutely love because I love still teaching in a way that people can see the, steps 1, 2, 3, and the how to, right? So what I want you to know is that you can also use a tool like this. It's called Xmind, okay? Xmind is one of my favorites, and I'll pull it up. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can really see it. This is a mind mapping tool that I use for myself and for my business. And when I'm teaching and I'm working with clients one-on-one, and soon we're going to be doing group coaching, we're going to do more group coaching ourselves, which is why that conference is so timely. With that, what I do is I can do demos and work through and break down complex topics. Look at this. So there's 18 different points that I want to make in that particular topic. But this gives me an organized way to be able to do that by using something like this. So it's almost having like an electronic version of a whiteboard, but it's cleaner because frankly, I am not one of those people that can write really well on you know how people do the whiteboards and you can't read a doggone thing that they wrote? That's me. So that's why I've gone to the option of Xmind and using mind maps in place of that. What I'm saying is that there's all kinds of ways. There's no reason why you should not leverage video in some way for yourself and for your business. And you can do so without showing your face on camera. So I'm checking to see if I see any. Yes, love it, love it. Someone wrote, Ayana said, didn't think I could use Wave for this, and I have this software. Yes. So here's the thing about Wave, and like I mentioned, we just did a Wave video tutorial, like I did a webinar a couple weeks ago. One of the things that I think is really powerful about Wave is that you, especially because of the new features that they're adding now, you can add that waveform. It can publish captions for you, like it can take your transcript, it can auto transcribe what you're saying and create captions that you can put into your video. There's just many things that you can do with an app like Wave. Even creating the little miniature landing page that I created for the promotion of that event. So yeah, if you do have questions, feel free to let me know. I see a few light bulbs in here. They look teeny tiny on the Restream app, but yes, I see them and I acknowledge you. Thank you for that. Look, the goal for tonight was really to share with you 3 different ways that you can do more video without showing your face on camera. If you think that we did that, I hope that you will like, follow, and subscribe and not miss another notification the next time we go live. We do this every week on Thursdays. We do this for you. I do this because it's important to me to share strategy behind, right, what we do with video. A lot of people teach about doing video and you see videos, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I want us to think more strategically about how we're putting content out into the world. So let's see. I see another comment. Yes, I love this comment. So I've created a few videos and noticed the waveform, but didn't use it. Did a couple talking head videos with it and used captions. Yeah, and you know what? You can do it however. There's so many different ways that you can choose to do it. Look, the old school one I showed you from 2015, that didn't have any waveforms in it. It just had my image, my little avatar character, and some words. And I was like, hey, video done. And another thing I used to do as well is do the screen share using Screencast-O-Matic to do a review of different apps and tools that I would find. I did something called a click of the week that I would do every week on YouTube. So we sometimes have to find our way, and finding my way initially was by not showing my face on camera. right? It took a while for me to get to this place where I feel comfortable and confident and I can speak to you directly and I'm okay, right, with my space that I've created for you on camera. And if you're in that mindset now where you're ready to take the next level and you're ready to advance in that regard, great. But I do hear, I'm listening and I'm hearing, and as I'm asking questions of my audience and the people that follow me, I'm hearing a lot of folks that are feeling like they just don't want to be on camera. So the goal is to work around that and to find a strategy that works for you, because you can make video whatever you choose it to be. It doesn't have to be live. It can be pre-recorded. You can do it however you choose to do it. But I just want to encourage you to try it and see what works and leverage it to the fullest. So that's what we're here to do every week with you. And I hope you'll come back and pay attention and watch and ask questions and interact just like you all have done tonight. So thank you so much for joining in. Let me do a quick recap and then we're going to wrap it up. The recap is this. Number one, you can do explainer style videos. This is animated. These are mind maps, as we showed you, whiteboards where you just have your hand going across. There are even electronic versions of whiteboards where it's somebody else's hand, right? That's writing out the words to what you're demonstrating or talking about. So that's number one, explainer style. Number two is through slides. So using Google Slides, making use of PowerPoint, making use of, apps like what I use, beautiful.ai, to create gorgeous slides that have images that go along with whatever you're talking about and bullet points and all those other things. You can certainly use slides and either talk over those slides or let the slides stand for themselves in your video with a little music or some type of audio that's in the background, right? That complements what your topic is. And then the third and final is just doing voiceover and image. So if you just have an image of yourself or of something that represents the topic that you're speaking on, and then you do a voiceover, and maybe you add a waveform or maybe you don't, it's totally up to you, but there are lots and lots of creative ways that we can do this, y'all. So no more excuses. Now, if you're somebody who's trying to get over yourself and get over putting your face on camera and you're telling yourself tonight, you know what? I'm going to do exactly as Tanya suggested, and I'm going to do more video. I want you to put, I will do more video in the comments. Just put it in there. Speak it out loud. Own it. And then I'll be looking forward to seeing more of your videos too. All righty, folks, we are getting ready to shut it down because I've got to get ready to go meet my folks over in the Let's Go Live challenge room. First of all, this is our Let's Go Live day for that challenge, and I am super excited and already congratulating the women and men who have joined the challenge this month. Actually, I think it's all women this month, but I'm so excited and thrilled and already sending you congratulations and love because I know whatever you put out there, you are shining because you put your toe in the water. That's all we want. That's a step in the right direction that's going to get you to where you want to be with your video. So congrats. I'll see you in that room here shortly. Meanwhile, everyone else, have a wonderful and amazing rest of the week and the weekend. I'm going to pop up here again, just one quick time. A note about connecting to our community. We're on Facebook. So if you want to join our community, we are the Video VIPs, Video Marketers in Progress. And we are an incredible group of people, small but mighty, who focus on video content strategy and how we can get past the fear of doing video to do more, to use it more. We're going to simplify how we stream so that we can serve more people and sell more services. That's what we do. All righty, folks. Have an amazing rest of the week and weekend. And share in the comments if you got questions. Okay? Let me know. And if you enjoyed tonight's tips and you're going to apply them, let me know that too. All right, everybody. Take care. And I will see you on next Tuesday. And if you're going to be joining us for the Fill My Groups event, let me pop that up one more quick time too, because the event is free and it's 5 days long. There are over 30 experts that are talking about how you can use group coaching to really support and just grow your business dramatically. So some amazing speakers are going to be on that stage. All right. Take care. Take a look at it, review and see if it's something you might be interested in. I will see you next time.